Hello, my name is B. Welcome to my little channel. I haven't made a video in a while, and that's okay. Girl boss. 6 language learning apps. 1 week to prove themselves. This is a waste of time. No. Let's roll that again. Today, for some reason, I decided to download 6 language learning apps, and I am going to use them, judge them, compare them, contrast them, and hopefully by the end, I will know what apps are good and what apps are no good. First of all, I'm so sorry this video is such bad quality. Second of all, I'm not doing Duolingo in this. I've been using Duolingo for a pretty long time, so I wanted to try 6 different language learning apps. Hi, B from the future after I've completed my entire experiment. No spoilers, obviously. I just wanted to kind of expand on what I'm saying because I don't know, I filmed that really late at night, so I was not fully with it. Language and linguistics are incredibly complex. I'm really passionate about languages and learning languages and how language works. I was curious to see how these language apps worked because language is so complex. When you're learning a language, you want there to be a good balance of reading, writing, speaking, and listening so that you can understand a language however it is presented to you, or however you have to present it to someone else. So when I'm using the apps, those are things that I'm looking for. I'm also looking for how the apps teach and help you memorize vocab, and just if it makes learning the language appealing. I think having language learning opportunities be accessible and fun is really important, and that's kind of why I decided to make this video, even though it's not like a very, I guess, scientific deep dive into the psychology of these linguistic apps. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Sorry my shirt is so bright. Bye! With research, if you can call this that, such as this, there are a lot of different variables that are very difficult to get in a controlled state. In terms of the languages, if I did the same language for all 6 apps, would the knowledge of the language I get from one app interfere with how I learn the same language in another app? That feels like it changes the variables too much. So what I'm doing instead is I'm going to learn a different language on every app. That is also concerning. First of all, languages vary in difficulty depending on the language and depending on what language your first language is. 2, if I'm learning multiple languages at the same time, I'm very intrigued to see how those different languages are going to interact. Without further ado, I'm going to cut to voiceover me and screen recording me. Bye bye! Thanks, video me. Here is the first app. Unfortunately for this downloading part, I only have screenshots. I'm sorry. It has a 4.8 star rating, but as you can see, all of the recommended reviews were all 1 star, really bad. This is the opening screen thing, and then once you hit that little how come button, it brings you to this terrifying video of this I think Apple avatar thing. It's horrifying. I was terrified. Okay, and now here is an actual video of inside the app. Thankfully, I got my screen recording to work. So they have a pretty good selection of languages, I think. I like the way the app looks, aesthetically. I think it's pretty nice. This app has 19 languages, 2 of which are English, because there's an American English and there's a British English. I don't necessarily mind that, so to speak, but I do think it's important to note that 2 of the 19 languages are English. In the first app, Fulu, I will be learning Polish. Okay, so this is the second app. It is Rosetta Stone. It is rated 4.7 stars on the App Store. It's also got a pretty good selection of languages. Something that I really appreciate is that it is more specific with the location of its languages and what they are actually called. For example, it's Chinese. It has a little subtitle thing for Mandarin, and Filipino, it also has Tagalog, which I very much appreciate. Rosetta Stone has 24 languages with 2 Englishes, again, American and British, and it also has 2 Spanishes, one for Spain Spanish and one for Latin America Spanish. In app number 2, Rosetta Stone, I will be learning Tagalog. This next app is called Busu or Busu. I'm not really sure. It has a 4.6 star rating. I promise I did not purposely download these in descending star rating order. That's just how it worked out. So here you can see it's loading, and I counted 14 languages for this app. And yeah, so that's Busu, Busu, Bussy, I don't know. In app number 3, Busu, I will be learning Spanish. Okay, so this next app is called Lingo Deer. It has a 4.5 star rating on the App Store, but as you can see, all of its top reviews are like really praising it. Honestly, first impressions, I thought it was going to be very similar to Duolingo because, you know, it's got the animal and it's lingo, so, you know, I was like, maybe it's going to be similar to Duolingo. This app has 14 languages, but one of them is French accelerated, so it's got 2 French courses, and then it has Spanish Latin America and Spanish. In Lingo Deer app number 4, I will be learning Thai. This next app is called Mondly, or like Learn 33 Languages Mondly. It's rated 4.5, but its main reviews seem to be 3 stars and under, which, you know. This app has 40 languages from what I counted, but it has 2 versions of Portuguese, so do keep that in mind. And obviously I could not pick English, so I don't think I wrote that down. So I guess that would be 41. I was honestly kind of impressed by the selection of languages, but then again, who knows if they are teaching these languages well at all. So, yeah, that's Mondly. And in app number 5, Mondly, I will be learning Ukrainian. Lastly, we have Linguist, Learn Languages Fast. This has a 4.4 star rating on the App Store, which is the lowest. Most of its reviews are 3 stars or less, so that's concerning. Opening up the app, you know, it's got this fun little slideshow to introduce you or to get you to start learning or sign in. Okay, this app has 16 languages. And finally, in Linguist, I will be learning Dutch. Just kidding. So I did 1 day of learning in Linguist, and I'm not able to do anything anymore. And like you can see, I'm trying to click around and I'm trying to like start a lesson, and it's not letting me. Like I can't actually do anything without like upgrading, and kind of the whole point of this is that it's like judging free language apps or without the upgrades. So I guess Linguist is out. Yeah, I'm not doing that whole bit again. So today is day 2 of using these little language learning apps. So far they all kind of seem to have their ups and downs, I guess. Like Fulu, where I'm learning Polish, keeps having these jump scare videos of, I'll just show you.
Let's start our trip with a conversation exercise. Don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. Fulu will guide you step by step to help you speak with confidence. That's right, Fulu has a smart pronunciation corrector to help you improve your accent with each lesson. So remember to turn on the microphone in speech recognition before start talking. Look, there's someone waiting to talk to you. Let's begin.
And Rosetta Stone, this really, really bothers me. You have to use it landscape. I have this memory from growing up of these like Rosetta Stone ads, and at the time, a million years ago, it was a VHS, I think. So when I say that like this Rosetta Stone app kind of gives me like VHS adapted for app vibes, Busu hasn't been bad, so to speak. But one thing that has kind of been weird to me is that I haven't spoken at all yet. With that, it's just a lot of listening to people and then matching what you think is right or writing out what you think is right, which is fine. And I personally say it while I'm choosing the things, or I repeat after whoever already spoke. But if I wasn't doing that, I'm just not getting familiar with the sounds of the language. And then what's the point of even learning it, you know? Lingo Deer, I'm learning Thai on Lingo Deer. Meow, meow, meow. The Thai alphabet is stuck basically in the top right corner, which I appreciate. I was very relieved that I could tap on each letter symbol and hear what it sounds like. As of right now, this might sound a little weird, but it kind of has like an early internet vibe, as in like I don't mind it too much. It's not that distracting. Mondly, where I'm learning Ukrainian. Mondly has been fine so far. I feel like a lot of these apps are very repetitive, especially in the beginning. Something that was very off-putting to me about Mondly is one of the options, I think. I'm not really sure like what the other options are, but one of the main things you can do is have an AI voice speak to you, and then you say things in your language back, which is fun and cool. At first I was kind of put off by it, but then I got this. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool now. I'm here from the future to tell you that, remember this. This will be foreshadowing. And that's it now, because I don't have Linkvist. So that was my day 2 recap. So far, I think I'm feeling stupid in everything, I think. I don't feel smart in my language, except for that one time in Ukrainian. I will see you day 3, which is tomorrow. Okay, I'm on Monly right now. Sorry, this video is probably garbage. Sorry, I look like garbage. Sorry, my audio is probably a little yucky. I'm trying to do their fucking, like, shit. So, like, I'm doing, like, they're just giving me random ass vocab words. One of them was metallic for butterfly. Am I saying that perfectly? Probably not. But like later on, it's like the butterfly is beautiful. It's like metallic honey. And I said that, and it's like it writes down what it thinks you're saying, and it's saying metallic honey. And then it just got the metallic. And then I was saying honey. And it just keeps saying I'm saying honey. And it's saying this shit, whatever the fuck that says. And then it just completely, like, skipped. It went to something else. Oh, and instead of actually, like, recording what I said for, like, you like this old tree, which would be Tobi podobaється це старе дерево? Derovo? I don't fucking know. It just said poopy. It just recorded that I said poopy, which was me trying to say Tobi, and it just completely stopped there. It stopped recording, I guess, after the first fucking word. Don't give me a long-ass sentence and then only record the first word. And don't record the first word as fucking poopy when it's Toby, dude. I'm showing you this in the worst way possible, but, So, it made me do it word by word, and I got it, right? And then it's like, okay, so let's do the whole thing. Good, right? I think it's good to break it down if you're really struggling. I swear, I said this entire sentence, this entire sentence, and it just did not record it. It only got the Tobi. So I paused it because I was getting frustrated and I needed to show. I'm gonna write it down Romanized super quick so that I can just read off of my paper, because it doesn't give you another Romanized version. It's like written in Ukrainian, and because it doesn't have any form of like, this is what the Ukrainian alphabet sounds like. I don't have any actual reference for what these things sound like other than the things I know or I've just like put together. And also, I'll probably have to just insert this as a screenshot, but Тобі подобається це старе дерево.
Great effort.
Okay, so that started without me telling it to start. You heard me say that entire sentence. It only got the first two words.
You like this old tree is.
Тобі подобається це старе дерево.
Now it's your turn.
Тобі подобається це старе дерево.
Тобі подобається.
Це старе дерево. Це старе дерево. Тобі подобається це старе дерево. And again, it only recorded that part.
This another go.
Тобі подобається це старе дерево. 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 Тобі подобається це старе дерево.
Тобі подобається це старе дерево. Fantastic.
Fucking
Lesson complete.
finally. I've been recording for 10 minutes. It's only day 3 and I actually can't do anything else now. None of these apps clarified that the first couple lessons were just a free trial of the entire app, but as soon as I got past like the 3rd or 4th lesson, depending on the app, I couldn't move forward without spending money. And the point of this video was, what is the best free language learning app? I passed a 4th lesson on Fulu and I can't even open the app without seeing this video.
Congrats! You've completed the Fulu free trial period. And look, you've improved a lot. You're already speaking. You've learned many words. You've improved your accent. Now imagine if you continue using Fulu for a few months, and you can rest assured that our team will always be here to help you by creating new courses, new lessons, and exclusive features to help you learn more and more. And if you still think Fulu is too expensive or that you don't have any money, just think about it. If you skip fast food for only 1 weekend, you'll have enough money to learn 14 languages on Fulu for a whole year. Exactly. And now it's your call. Would you rather have fast food for a single weekend or subscribe to Fulu, achieve your dream of speaking a new language, and change your life forever? Congrats!
And on Rosetta, I just don't have the option to move on anymore. On Lingo Deer, it also gives me a buy premium pop-up when I try to go forward. So that kind of leaves Busu and Mondly, and I mean, like, what's the point now? I have some different categories that I've judged them by, and I'm gonna go through each one and judge them. The categories are phonetic breakdown / an explanation of the alphabet and the sounds that the language makes, how their speaking exercises are, an explanation of the grammar and how that is, the usability of the vocab, at least that I got in these free trials, and the general overall look, vibe of the app. So first, Fulu, which I was learning Polish. There was no phonetic breakdown of the language, which was not detrimental, but it was very difficult to work with. You were kind of on your own for figuring out the sounds of the language. There were speaking exercises, but again, without that phonetic breakdown of the language, it was really weird to try to just like look at the word and hear them say it, and just like I can't read it myself. I'm just saying what I hear because I don't know how I'm supposed to read it. Eventually I kind of started to figure it out, but I think having a phonetic breakdown would really help if you were going to do Fulu. But again, you can't get past 4 lessons. Fulu also did not break down the grammar. It did not explain it at all. In each lesson in Fulu, there's only ever one sentence or one concept that you're learning, and you only ever have to learn one side of that. There's never anything where it's like, something's written and it's like, what does this mean? Like, there were really only 3 lesson types in Fulu. Learn to say it with text, and then you would say it, like in an actual conversation. Then you would write it, which is to say you would select the words in order without an explanation of why they're in that order. Just pick them in order. You can hear it, just pick them in order. And then you would have to say it without being able to look at it, which honestly was fine because, again, they didn't break down the sounds or how the sounds work. Usability of vocab, so-so. Fulu had a lot of repetition. I don't know how to introduce myself in Polish, and I don't think ordering a cheeseburger is going to be my number one priority. As for its look, it's fine. I can't really get over its freaky little Apple AI video, Apple Avatar AI video. It's really kind of unsettling for me. Not like truly unsettling, I just think it's funny to make fun of it. So Fulu, it was just okay. Moving on to Rosetta Stone, there was no phonetic breakdown of the alphabet, which I guess was okay for Tagalog, but also there needs to be some kind of explanation. So I think some sort of phonetic breakdown or just some explanation of how the sounds work would have been very helpful.
Mga babae. A. Mga.
Rosetta did have speaking exercises. They were fine. Rosetta Stone kind of explained the grammar, as in it had like a grammar lesson, but like also it didn't really actually teach you. It was just like, match these things based on what you've put together with your own little brain. I feel like there needs to be some sort of actual solid explanation of what these words mean and how they work in relation to each other. Right? Like, you can't just assume I'm understanding this. I feel like there could have been more of a grammar explanation than just having me match things based on what I've seen in the past. As for usability of vocab, most of Rosetta Stone's vocabulary was like verbs and man, woman, girl, boy, and then like connecting verbs and those, which is fine, but also, you know, if I'm in the Philippines, I feel like I'm gonna want to be able to say hi, my name is, you know? As for its look, the horizontal shit really bothered me. I'm gonna be honest. Because the rest of the app is portrait, but as soon as you actually enter the exercises, you have to have it landscape. That was very frustrating for me. So yeah, Rosetta Stone was okay. Next app. Busu didn't have any phonetic breakdown, but it also didn't have any form of speaking exercises. Busu's grammar explanation was probably one of the best / better ones of the apps. It actually really helped to explain the formal versus informal and how gender works in Spanish. It also had the most usable vocab. It was, hi, how are you? You know, it was all very conversational, but it provided it in both formal and informal, which I greatly appreciated. Looks-wise, it was fine. It was pretty clean. It was nice. So overall, I would say Busu was really good. It's just that the fact that there's no speaking is going to be a detriment to you learning a language, because so much of knowing a language is being able to speak in that language. So I would say not having any form of speaking exercises is probably Busu's biggest downfall. Upon further investigation, there are actually speaking exercises, but there's a couple things to note. One, they start way later into the course. Two, you are saying things with your information. Like it's not giving you a sentence and you just have to say it and it matches it up. It's like where are you from and where do you live now? And then you can either speak or you can write it in the language you're learning, and then it, I guess, publishes it, so to speak. And then other users whose first language is the language you're learning will provide feedback on either your writing or your speaking. On the one hand, I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat, but on the other, I'm like, oh, that's kind of like uncomfortable. And I, as a user, I've actually gotten a couple notifications that are like, give feedback on this person. And it's like, I don't want to. So I don't really know if other people are giving feedback, really. I've only ever seen like 1 or 2 comments on them. It's just kind of like, it's a little weird to me. And I feel like there's probably a better way to do it. Now you can move on. Next up is Lingo Deer. Lingo Deer was the only app that actually had a dedicated alphabet explanation / breakdown. And you could click on each symbol and hear it. If I didn't have any way to just look at the symbols and hear what sounds they make, I would have been screwed. Unfortunately, Lingo Deer didn't have any actual like full speaking exercises. There were some optional points where it would say something and you could listen to it and then you could say it, but it wouldn't judge how you're saying it. It would just play it again and then it would play what you said back to you so you could compare it. I don't know. Yes, you would be able to tell, but I don't think it actually gives any like good feedback in that sense. So I'm saying there's no speaking or pronunciation exercises, which just like for Busu, I think that's kind of a problem. Lingo Deer also had one of the better grammar explanations. In Thai, it explained there are additions to ends of sentences depending on your gender that will indicate respect to whoever you're speaking to. Usability of vocab, it was so-so. The actual vocab was fine, but it was so repetitive that really it was only like 2 sentences in total. And those 2 sentences each had a male and female version, and like when I'm speaking, I'm only ever going to use the female version. So again, we're back down to 2 sentences. Yeah, so that is just kind of like, you know, those first 4 couple lessons, there's only 2 sentences you're going to be speaking. And again, there's no full speaking exercises. Now, look-wise, it's also so-so. There's nothing really outstanding about it, but it's not like overwhelming or ugly in any way. It's just kind of there. I liked the opening animation though. I thought it was really cute. So that's it for Lingo Deer. Last up is Monthly, and there's no phonetic breakdown or any form of alphabet explanation. As you know, I did Ukrainian, and so I could see it in either Cyrillic or in the Latin alphabet, and if you choose to see it in Cyrillic, you're kind of just on your own to figure out what the letters mean. It had speaking exercises, but as we saw, they were not very good. There was no explanation of sentence structure or grammar at all, and the usability of vocab was like all over the place. Like for a while it just had me repeating mother and father and brother and sister, but it didn't teach me to say hi until like 4 or 5 lessons in, and then it started just like throwing bugs and like trees at me, and then it would like throw full sentences at me, and it was just kind of very confusing like why they chose the words they chose for those lessons. I was like, what is going on? Look-wise, it's not my favorite. It kind of looks like one of those like toxic positivity mental health apps, you know what I mean? And also at some points it does just kind of look like a little bit much. But with all that said, let's move into my final thoughts. So this didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to. I went into this not knowing anything about the apps, but planning to be able to do a whole 5 days. I wanted to do 5 days to test these apps and to compare them, but without any real inclusion in their advertising, I was hit with a paywall for 4 of 6, which is not good numbers. So I'm ending this test, whatever you want to call it, several days early, 2 days early. It's not that bad. Having used all of these apps, I cannot say I would comfortably recommend any of them. I guess Busu would kind of be the best because it, as we discovered later, it does have some speaking features, but that really depends on whether or not you're comfortable having other people, real people, listen to and give feedback on your pronunciation. Obviously, this video wasn't sponsored in any way, but yeah, I was not expecting that all of these were going to be that not great. I expected them to have their downsides, but I didn't expect it to be like, I'm a little disappointed if I'm going to be honest. I was kind of hoping we could find like a hidden gem or something. And I guess Busu is pretty good. I don't think I'm going to continue using it. I mean, it's fine. I guess that's it for this video now. I kind of want to make a video looking at ASL app. I think it'd be fun to look into those. I also want to look at those like musical instrument teaching apps, and I want to see if I can like actually learn an instrument with one of those apps and a little bit of dedication. So let me know if you want me to do that. I'll probably do it anyway. It depends on how I feel. With that said, subskrybovacie, mag-subscribe, subscriber, czytam, podpisać, and like, and comment. Bye!